Our target is the moon. Our relative speed is not too bad, so it should be around here. Oh, we do have control. That's nice. So we can, hi, it's an engineer. Of course it's an engineer. This is considered a rendezvous. How nice, which is a bit of an oversight. Performed a rendezvous maneuver. Oh, probably a month. You know, half a month is what I'm actually thinking. If the rocket doesn't make it, then this all of a sudden becomes a bit... Seriously? Welcome back one and all to another episode of Kerbalish, and roll up, we have a lot of people stuck in orbit. Thanks Gene, thank you. We seem to have a lot of people in orbit around the Earth. The interesting thing is they've got different values, but I think that means some of them are easy orbits and some are not. What do you think? You think that, Gene? I think that as well. So what I'm wondering, I'm going to take some of them, but I'm going to do another mission first. I'm going to do the EVA mission first. That'll clear up one mission. And then I think we might try and send a craft up to get a few of them in one go. Would be an idea, I think. We don't need like thrusters, controls, all sorts of interesting things like that. We just need a craft that can go up, and we've got that. We've got something that I think we can use for that. And I want to go to the moon. I mean, that's the other thing I would like to do. I do not see a contract for me. I mean, we've got to land on the moon and come back. Actually, let's have a look. What's on the all list? First docking. I've got to do first docking before I can go to the... Seriously? Why do I need a first docking? I thought I'd done the EVA mission. But we'll send somebody up in a rocket. We'll do it quickly. Let's make that happen. As the sun sets on the KSC, or whatever this is Cape Canaveral, isn't it? As the sun sets, we have Jeb on the launch pad in a reasonably newish looking craft. This is the Delta 1O, because I actually have another one that is planning on going up, but I actually need something to put him in orbit quickly. Jeb is our only crew member not to have been to orbit now, which is odd. It's very odd. It doesn't seem quite normal. Anyway, we're gonna launch this thing. I think I just need to put him in orbit. Is it literally? Uncrewed for that one. I was thinking I could do the polar one. Achieve orbit. Do that. Splash down land. Okay, so that's all I need to do. So we'll just we'll just fire this thing up and get going. And this should be okay. This should be easy. What engine is that there? That is the swivel. So I've got a nice bit of gimbally control there available. Okay, that's wonderful. And then we'll just start tipping over. Probably a good idea to put the SAS on, because of course Jeb does come with that. Jeb's happy. He's finally going to go to orbit. Yeah, Jeb, it's not really new now, is it? So we're going to go through the clouds, going to get to orbit, and I'm going to do this really quickly. So quickly, in fact, that we're now at the point where we need to get rid of our boosters. There we go. They are gone. They're going to hit each other, are they? Yeah, of course they are. We're going to turn this craft slightly over, well, a long way over, actually. We're going to go really annoyingly over. That engine's got a really big gimbal on it, so that we can actually throw this thing around quite considerably now, can't we? One of the reasons I'm doing this, I think it's the first time we've launched with capsule. I think this might be our first capsule launch, which is a new thing for us, isn't it? One of the reasons for this, I actually want to test the capsule, number one. We've got parachutes arranged differently. I have actually designed another craft. In fact, I've designed a 4-craft based on this capsule layout to do a few different things. We've got docking ports on things and stuff like that. So we're going to try and get to that. I'm not entirely sure how I get to... I want to go to the moon is the main thing that I want to do. But I think we've got a craft now capable of going to the moon and possibly landing, possibly even getting back. Crewed, anyway. Whether I can do that uncrewed, I don't know. That will be up to... some other factors that I don't know. I don't know. Right, we're going to cut our engine off at 100 kilometers up. We're still going through the atmosphere, so that's going to take a little while. You can see a lot of rubbish there. We're going to pop out the atmosphere any second, though. So we'll just do that. We'll do that. And pop our maneuver node. That's a bit too far, a little bit too aggressive on the maneuver node there. Just pull that back. And there we go. That's almost beautifully perfect. And get this thing there, I think. One thing I have realised is I do not have any power generation on this craft, which is a bit of an oversight. Or we don't have a probe core, so technically, as long as we're not moving the craft, it's not using energy. So you just got to be careful about that, I think. I think we should probably start our engines now. There we go. Wonderful. Of course, this engine will die in a moment, and we'll get onto our final stage, which is nice. So we know there's enough thrust there to get us pretty much to orbit. That's going to cut. There we go. That's going to re-enter and crash down into the planet, which was... It's not an ideal situation, but we'll live with it. I mean, you can do that. And there's loads. We could go to the moon on this. I could actually do a flyby of the moon with this vehicle. Thank you. If you'd like to get an EVA report, Yeah, it's not going to be really useful. You know what? Just grab it anyway because we can, and then just board. And I'd really like to just I'd like to land now. So if you could just fire that, and let's get ourselves down. And I think what we'll do is we'll just do time warpy. I'm just gonna kill the velocity. In fact, it would help if we actually. Oh, hello. It would help if we actually were pointing in the right direction there, wouldn't it? There we go. We got the sun coming over there somewhere, or is that just PlanetShine being weird? I think that's PlanetShine being PlanetShine. And then at some point I should actually deploy a parachute, probably. There we go. And then we could probably fire our main shoots now. There we go. Right, and then we'll get this all the way back down. I think that should have completed the contract. Yeah, so as soon as Jeb splashes down, he should get up to 1 star like all the other crew, and we should complete that contract. And as if by magic, we are back at the Space Center, and we've got nothing from that. We've got a little bit of funds returned from that. And Jeb is up at level 1, which is wonderful because it means we now got four astronauts. Sorry, Val, forgot about you. Or maybe I forgot about Bill or Bob. I think you used 1 person. Do we have anybody I want to hire? We've got very low stupidity. No. I would really like a low stupidity, high courage, because I think that's always a good purchase. We haven't got those. Right. We could go unlimited with the pad. I could go... That would go unlimited. We could go... No, it's not going to do it. Right, let's look at some missions. So now we've got a geostationary contract. We've got first docking, but we want to take some of these rescue missions. So we're going to take the cheap ones because I think they're going to be near. So we're going to take you and you. You I think are going to be orbital, and then you've got an 8, an 8, 9. Ooh, you know what? Just take them all. This is going to go horribly wrong, though. I can see it. Right, let's go build a craft to rescue some Kerbals. Right, before we start rescuing, I thought I'd check where they are, and they're all in pretty much the same orbit. I think they're all going the same direction. Are you going in the same direction? I can't tell. I think you are. I think they're all prograde. That makes life a lot easier because I thought some of them were going to be on highly inclined orbits, but I think they're all equatorial as well, which is mean we're going to have to do a plane change. Right. Let's see how this goes. So here we are with the Delta 1R, or Delta 1 Rescue, and we basically took that beta unit's top bit. We've put a little reaction wheel in there to give me a bit more control. We've got parachutes on there. We've got 4 little seats for our Kerbals to be rescued with. And then we put it on top of this thing, which is, it's like I'm calling it the Delta 1, but we can change it a bit. We can have 2 solids or 4 solids. We're going for 4 solids because we've got the money, we've got the funds. If we can get 2 Kerbals down with this, we're actually going to be making profit. So let's just get into orbit. We've got plenty of Delta V. Let's get into orbit and see what happens. So we're launching off, nice and thrusty. These, I think I actually limited the thrust on these just so they weren't too much. Of course, we do have control on this because we have that probe core on it. There we go. Just going to do that. And these have a little bit of gimbal. This engine in the center has even more gimbal. So we've got a lot of gimbal controlling everything that we do right now. So it's just about getting this thing into orbit without, blowing up. We can thrust back on our main engine a little bit, actually. Put it back a bit there. I'm hoping that's not going to impact our gimbal ability, shall we say. Probably be a good idea to know how high we're going. And this is probably where this spins out and I lose it completely because we're still in the thick stuff, well, the medium stuff right now. Right, just take your time, Seamos. Just take your time, get yourself up there, get up there safely, because if the rocket doesn't make it, then this all of a sudden becomes a bit seriously, like seriously. Okay. Ooh, actually, could we rescue it? Turn it around the other way. Turn it around the other way. I want to go back to land. There we go. I want to do that. There. Right. Fire the engines full thrust. I need to get these out first, don't I? Right. There we go. Right, those are gone. Now, is that going to slow us down? It is, so we can fire the other parachute. Okay. Right, I've got... Ooh, that was an interesting stretch there. Do we see that little bit of Kerbal stretching there? Ooh, this little... Ooh, that's a... There we go. There's a lot of weight on this. And then as we hit the water, I will shut the engine down. Okay. Here we go. There we go. Engine's off. And we are down. Wonderful. Now I just recover that. We got no science from it, but we did get 6,000 funds, which means I think we've not massively killed ourselves on that. Well, oh, we've got some more to recover. Let's recover that. What's that get me? Did it get me more? I think it goes more. Right. Let's try that again with a bit more thrust later on. Right, in the morning light, we will be launching. So we're ready. I think all is good. We're going to fire everything. I'm going to just throttle this down already. I'm going to throttle it down just a little bit because we know we're going to get to... Actually, no. put it on full. We know we're gonna get too much. Oh, would help if I actually had the stability control on. That would be probably a good idea. There we go. Right, and also if I knew how high we were going to go. Right, there we go. Right, now throttle it back just a smidgen, okay, while we're going through the soupy soup, because we've got a decent velocity going on there, and if we go above 300, we start to get quite a lot of drag, I think. So it's gonna keep it going nicely. There we go. You can see the drag starting to build up. We can actually pull this back a bit more. Note to self, before we decouple these side boosters, hit Z for ultra mega full thrust, and do that. That's probably what we want to do. Is what I'm thinking. Oh, we got a bit of a wobble. Oh, hello. There we go. Just go right. Full thrust. There, get rid of them. There we go. Perfect. Look, work perfectly normally. That's perfect. Okay, so we're gonna start to control this, and we're gonna stop our burn when we're around the 100. There we go. Now this thing has a nice little reaction wheel on it, as well as the probe having a little tiny reaction wheel of its own. So that helps us a little bit. Right, we're going to just speed you up around here to get towards where we need to be. And as if by magic, we're going to put ourselves into orbit. What's that down there? Well, that's the rest of the rocket. That's going to go into the atmosphere, isn't it? Okay. We're going to put this hopefully to about 100. I'd like it to be around about 100 kilometers, so we've got a reasonably circular orbit. We will see what happens though. So it's going to come up. It's going to hit 100. Is it going to hit 100? Is it going to? Are we going to start getting this going up? That's going up. That's going up. I'd like this to be there. There we go. That's okay. That's not bad. It's not terrible. Right. Next step. So what I'm looking at is I'm looking at ascending node, and I'm looking at my periaps, because I can just do a normal burn, but because you see the position of it, it's actually going to throw us out a bit. So if I do this, you can see that our ascending node is going to get down nice and low, but I've now got a problem whereby my periaps is got lower and lower. So I need to pump it up a bit. So I'm going to pump up the periaps, and this is where MechJeb comes in really nice, because you can just put into MechJeb, I want to change my inclination at this point, and I want it to be this, and MechJeb does it. I mean, it just does it. Whereas I am having to do a little bit of fiddling. So we're going to do a bit of that, some of that, a bit more of that. My periaps is now going a bit crazy. We're going to keep my apoapsis in mind. I think I'm going to be all right with that. We're not too bad. Now, amazingly, I have to start this burn like now, and I'm actually going to start it early, which you may think is crazy. I personally think it's quite crazy as well, because I want to finish my burn here at that ascending node. What was the ascending node? Right. Let's have a look. What's my inclination? Show my inclination. My inclination is going down. That's good. What's my no, not that button. Right, my periaps is taking a beating. Okay, we can fix that. That's fixable. Yeah, this is just eating all of the beautiful fuel we brought up, and this is why you don't do inclination changes this close to the planet. It's just silly. It is just silly, and you can see now that my periaps is starting to come back up again. Okay. So we'll get rid of that apoapsis actually, and I'll get rid of that periapsis, I think, if I've not already got rid of it. I don't want to detail that craft. Thank you very much. Right. And we're going to stop it there. Right. What are we looking like? We have an apoapsis of an 80. We've got a periapsis of 83. What's my apoapsis? What am I looking at? 130 by 8. My inclination is 4. That's terrible. Right, we're gonna try that again. And as if by magic, we have another maneuver that's actually not too bad. This is one it's more manageable, and we're actually going to start it early because we know it's a 48 seconder. I like to finish it on the node when it's an inclination change. So we're going to start it very soon. Make it now. There we go. Full deburn. Everything's good. Now, of course, we don't have normal markers on this. We don't have hold target or anything like this. This is the basicest, well, one of the most basic probe cores. Even if we put our crew on board or a member of crew on board, it would not really help us on that. So yeah, we're pretty much doing everything vaguely, roughly, okay-ish. Right, so there we go, and there we go. Right, what's my inclination now? Ooh, what's the relative? It's 0.4. Okay, I can work with that. That's not brilliant, but we can work with it. Right, we're high up, so we're going to be losing ground to everybody. Who's the next It's going to be you, isn't it? Set as target. Right, you're the one I want. And with a little bit of moving around and finding things, we have a maneuver that should take us to within 2.7 kilometers. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Let's get going with it. It is in a couple of orbits. I mean, it takes a while. It's like 4 hours. I mean, you know, we have got decent electric charge. We've got those nice big solar panels that will rotate around and grab us electricity, which is good. We seem to get signal all the time, which is very nice. Yeah, we're getting it. I think we're getting it from the moon. I think we're actually getting it from the moon. Right, we're just doing our little burn there, and right, we're within 1 point something, and I want to zero out my relative target velocity. Where are you? Where are you? There you are. So I want to go into retrograde according to target. This is going to be in a minute. We're going to warp to there. Our relative speed is not too bad, so it should be around here. Fire some engine. It's going to, oh, it actually says that we're whoa, hello, other way around, please. Going too far. Right, there we are. Pull it in. There we go, and then just a little bit more. I want to stay on the target actually. Right, come on, just get me onto it. There we go. Now, where is the target? Is that the target? Is that target? Wow, isn't that a lovely view? What is that? What is this here? Where am I? I mean, I know I'm above Earth, but what on Earth is that? I mean, it's not the Nile or something. It's staggering. I'm assuming it's a satellite image that's been converted. Now we are coming in at a bit of a reasonable pace there. I can just go a little bit further, and then we can just wait until we're about 400 away, and then I'll pop it onto a little thing. There we go. Right, I'm gonna zero this out now, and then we'll just we'll come in again. This is going to be the interesting bit. I'm assuming I don't need to dock for this. I'm assuming I can just get mount. So we could do like a little flyby at 3.3, but I don't really want to do a flyby at 3.3 because then I have to get the jetpack out and catch up. So we're gonna go to a dead stop. Oh, we've got a milestone. So we have performed a rendezvous maneuver. Oh, this is considered a rendezvous. How nice. Oh, we do have control. That's nice. So we can hi. It's an engineer. Of course, it's an engineer. Ingas is an engineer. Of course, Ingas is an engineer. Get the jetpack on, and then just go that way, please. There we go. I don't know which way around this craft is actually. I've just left it parked in orbit. Here we go. We're closing in, and we can grab hold very soon. There we are. Why is it that you always get a coughing fit when you're doing stuff like this? I don't want to hit the solar panel board there. There we go. Right. Now we're going to be off center because we've got a Kerbal on one side. Right. But we can work with that. I think we can work with that. Right. This is where we're going to try and do a flyby jump in the seat situation. I want this seat here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Board. Oh, look at that. That was skill. There we go. Oh, yeah. Right. Right, team. How we doing? Yeah, it's two of you now. Both engineers. I cannot believe we have two engineers. Mardard. I mean, I'm not a fan of your name. I'm going to be honest with you. Apologies to anybody that's watching that is actually called Mardard. Down a bit would be good. And then a bit to this way. There we go. And then just drift in, I think is what we're looking for. And board. There we go. Next one. 3 down. 1 to go. Podsy. Okay, Podsy. Congratulations. You are the latest member of the team. If you'd like to make your way towards the vehicle, we can begin your orientation. And one thing I always forget when I'm doing EVAs, you actually have to position the camera relatively as well, because it does sometimes take that into account as to what's going on. And I need to figure out which seat is available. Oh, this one is available here. Okay. Yeah, because that's the reason that we bounced, obviously, because I wasn't focused on what seat. It's not at all because I always miss the EVA seats. I mean, it's nothing like that. The seat is, oh, we can board it now, okay. We're coming down, and I think this should be a nice easy landing, so I shall see you back at base. And after all that, we've got 0 more science. That's wonderful, but we do have an awful lot of funding from that. We've got 4 new crew who are all 1 star as well, because of course they've been to orbit. So which means that we now have 8 crew, all 1 star. We've got a lot of engineers. There's a whole world of engineers out there. Let's have a look. We've got High Courage, Podsy. You are like the least courageous person in the world, aren't you? Right, we're going to take the first orbit. First orbit we've had first orbit. We've got more of those rescue missions. Comment down below. Should I do those in like behind the scenes? Would that be something to have just so we've got a crew, or just do clips of me capturing them, rescuing them when we rescue them? I don't know. Right, here we are upon the launch pad with Luna 2A, I'm calling it. It's our Delta rocket. We put some extra tanks on the side with some landing gear, and we put a science payload there on the top. And yeah, I'm just wondering if this is going to work or not. I'm just having a think. Our target is the moon. We're going to be aiming for the moon, and I'm just going to see. So that's the plane. That's the plane there, and I want the moon to be on a descending arc, so it's going to be like that. So I want to launch. I think I'm actually late, but we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go now. So everything on, all the contacts, fire everything, off we go. Right, we're going to let all the engines go first. And then we're going to throttle this main one back a little bit, but not too much. I'm going to turn over just a smidgen to there. That's where I want to be. That's going to give me the start of what I want. And then we're just going to follow it. This is going to be interesting. So I'm now going to pull this back to just about here and just let it stay where it is. I'm not too fussed about turning over because this, I think, has got a lot of drag. I don't have a fairing over it because our fairing is a 0.625 or whatever it's called meter fairing. It is, or 0.75, I can't remember what it is, because we don't have the bigger one. So that's actually holding me back a little bit on this. We're through the thickest of the thick stuff. Those solids are about to go. Okay. Right, full thrust, let it go. Oh yeah, just past us. Right, so we got the full thrust and we got the escape. Oh no. That's spinning. Yep, that is a spin. That means we're going to lose all of the. There we go. Get it back around. Get it back around. There we go. I think we got. Oof, that was a rescue. It was a rescue, wasn't it? Oof. So this thing is not very aerodynamic. I think we've all learned that now. How are we going? Yeah, this is going to be horrible. This is actually going to be horrible because I didn't think about the fact that the planet actually has two sides. Yeah, it rotates. You know, who would have thought about that? Who would have thought the planet rotates? We have a bit of fuel going on. My concern is I really wanted to use some of this stage to get us out to the moon. I do not think that's going to happen. How are we doing for fuel? Yeah, we're starting to get down on the tanks a bit. I don't think there's enough Delta V in this to land and return, because we're going to have a janky flight path of some sort, aren't we? 85 there. Right, now let's get this thing into a position. Yeah, this is, what's the, oh, that is terrible. Oh, yeah, that's absolutely horrendous. Oh, so we are literally going to be at 45 degrees to the orbit. That is so bad. I've actually got a cough developing because that is so bad. There is an option here. There is an option, and it's not one that I'm a big fan of, but there is an option. That's just how much to get me into orbit. Let's just get us into orbit first. This thing doesn't have crew on board, and even if it did, actually Kerbals are, well, they eat snacks that don't take up mass, so that's not a problem. But technically, this thing can sit in orbit for as long as we want, and it's not a big problem. We could just put this thing in orbit and leave it there until the time was right, which could be months. But it's not going to be. It's going to be probably a month. You know, half a month is what I'm actually thinking. Hear me out. Is the orbit of? That's not the one I want. Oh, that's the one I want. Right. Does your altitude changes because it's not a circular orbit? Of course it isn't. Right. If I go from here and I go out multiple times, like multiple days, like all the days away. Like, because you can hear me clicking furiously right now. I'm just like, okay. Oh, no. Set as target. No, thank you. Set as target. Right. Now, if I come back to you and I do this. This is, how close is it going to bring me? Can I get closer? Yes, I can. Wow. We are getting very close now. Yeah, that's it. What about one more? Ooh. Very, very nice. Is that closer? That is closer. That is closer. That is closer. That isn't. Right. Okay. So I think that's what I'm going to go for. It's 900. Gives me 2,400 left. It's about 1,000 something to get. Oh, it's tight. Right. I think we go for it. Right, so we have now gone forward 6 days in the Kerbal system. Of course, if this was the real world and we had cryogenic fuels, this would really not work because they boil off. I mean, it's 6 days, not terrible, but if we were doing it, normally, and this of course isn't the real. This isn't the real solar system. It would have been longer in that thing. In fact, possibly. Yeah, it's a thing. It's definitely a thing that is possible in Kerbal, but you probably wouldn't want to put a crew on board doing this. And if we're doing something with life support, it would be completely impossible. Right, I suppose we should probably fire the engines right now. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? That's nice. All right, fire those engines. I think we need a bit of timey-wimey warpy. There we go. Get it going. Of course, I should really keep an eye on this because every sort of millimeter off burn. And of course, I'm going to be landing this without anything other than stability assist. So this could be interesting. You get lazy. Is one thing I would say. You get lazy if you play this game with all those things active all the time. You get very lazy. You can see we've used like a third of the Delta V already, and we're hardly out of the range of Earth. Unfortunately, we've let that develop, so it's going to mean that we're actually off target a bit. And I don't know how accurate this is going to be. One of the settings we have is that all of the planets are inclined relative to each other, a bit like the real solar system, instead of having what you can have on real scale solar system, where they're all lined up nicely. Right, we've got to try and get this thing on target now. Where is my target? There we are. Right, there we are. Got you. There we go. Got it. And fiery. Fire a bit more. Oh, we have actually got an interaction with the moon. That's exciting. And here we go. Oh, there we are. Do tiny bursts. There we go, 32. There we go, it's perfect. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight, I think. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. This could work, it might not. And with that in mind, I think we're going to leave it there until next time. So, from me, until next time, have a great one. So if that was good for you, check out on the screen right now some links. You can see other videos you might like. Check out the channel, see if there's any playlists you like. There's also some links to other content creators there you might like. Or leave a comment down below. Like, subscribe, do all those things.